My father always used to say I had wanderer's legs. We all wonder, what's out there?
Is this
But
Avatar?
for me, it was more than that. A stranger.
Wow.
I set out to find my path.
Space Avatar, I told you. Yeah, rappelling's dope, dude. That'd be awesome.
Through all my travels, through all the trials of the unknown, I came to realize that there was really only one thing I'd been looking for. A place to call home.
There you go. There it is. There's the carrot. That was a good way to drop it in there.
So welcome to Manchester. Hope you like that. That was done by our marketing cinematic group, which did an amazing job on the Carrick commercial. So it is awesome to be back here in Manchester. In 15, it was actually the first time we showed the very beginning glimpse of the baby PU, we called it then. Now we have a much bigger persistent universe. So we're back here 4 years. It's actually where our biggest development area is. We have about 300 and I think 30 people working up in here in Manchester. So we're very, very happy to be here. Welcome to everyone that's joining us from around the world here locally, and also everyone that's watching online live. Thank you for joining and watching us. And we also want to thank the sponsors that have helped us out with the event. So we have LG, AMD, Actina, and Corsair, who have all contributed equipment and helped out in general with the event. So thank you guys very much. Anyway, we're looking forward to giving you a great show today. There's a lot of really cool panels. And we're actually going to do something a little different with the demo this time around. We're going to have an opening portion of the demo, and then we're going to come back at the very end of the day and sort of finish it up. And just also let you know that the auditorium panels that are going on that you guys can go and see during there, and there's some really cool and great ones. I also don't know if you guys are going to have a chance to check out Theaters of War, because I think that's still in the early stages, but it'd be really great to have your feedback, and I think it's going to be kind of cool and fun. But the auditorium sort of talks will be available on YouTube in a couple of days for you guys. So let's do our beginning demo and go from there. So first, let me call our two on-stage demo players. So
Demo
Glenn,
people.
come on up.
Good luck, Glenn.
It's not a demo without Glenn. And I think your first demo was the one in Manchester, wasn't it? Was it?
Yeah, I did Gamescom first.
Yeah. Oh, you did Gamescom, and then we did the Manchester one, right? Yeah. There we go. So Glenn, it won't be enough. He's got his boots on too. And we have a new demo player, Sam. Come on up. Here you go, Sam. Sam is going to be the captain of the Carrack. So she goes, and she's sporting, as is Glenn, our fancy new Carrack shirt. Very cool.
Can't really
and then
see it until you're in the
finally,
light.
Todd Pappy, who
There
is
you
the
go.
live Star Citizen Universe Director. He will be joining me on stage.
The Pappy. Give him the blue steel, Pappy. Give him the blue steel.
And I have a couple of hidden individuals over there that I will bring up here shortly when we get into the demo. All right. Okay, let's start it. So we're here in the Carrack.
Always Jedgar.
After, I don't know, quantum travel, coming from somewhere. And Glenn, let's
So
break them out of
excited.
bed.
Show us.
After he's done a fancy pan around the Carrack to show you.
And we're out here, we're basically
In orbit around Microtech.
Yeah.
Show me.
So to let you guys know, because I think it leaked on Reddit because it said coming in February, we're not quite ready to have the Carrack in the initial 3.8 release, but it will be in a subsequent 3.8 release. So it's not waiting till 3.9. So I think in February it should be done, and that's mostly because we still have some sort of LED stuff to do and some damage stuff and some of the finishing touches of the tech stuff. All right, so let's
Get dressed?
get dressed, put a jacket on. So it's the beginning of, we're still working on some of our, but ultimately there'll be a lot more sort of physical inventory on what you're going to use, and you'll sort of see that.
Is it
why
cold?
It comes into effect later on in the demo. Let's just do a little bit of a tour, maybe go off to the mess, grab a bit of morning coffee.
What is this?
There's a
Is that pool? What kind of
pool
game is that?
table. If you're bored on a long journey, exploring the frontiers.
I'll go ahead and say if they made pool interactive like today, I would be all on that shit instantly.
There's a mess on the other side of the living quarters. And then look out the window, maybe. Perhaps, I don't know. Yeah, we can't see the plan out
No,
the
it's-
window there, right?
it's on the other
the other side. All right, let's have a little cup of coffee.
Gotta wake up, have your coffee in the morning. That's a noisy ass coffee maker in the future.
So we had coffee in the last CitizenCon demo. So
Yeah, well, again, this plays towards our actor status, which we'll get into a little bit later, where you will have to eat, you will have to drink stuff to stay alive. Again, we're not trying to make it so that you have to do it every hour or anything like that, but it is part of survival.
All right.
Why not make coffee?
Whoops. Just move.
Just move, don't look at it. There you go. Drink.
Good morning.
And this is one of our other players, Joe, on the Carrack. There's a VoIP server gone down again?
Yeah.
Really?
VoIP's not working.
So Joe was actually, Phil, can you switch to just have the comms that, sorry, the back-end services that does the VoIP seems to be sticky here. It was on our previous, and then it went off, and then it's gone on again. So here's Sam.
Morning.
Yeah,
So
see.
her voice isn't working either.
Well, no, it's the VoIP servers are down.
Yeah, so
which I don't know. They were working. We span it just before you guys came in. It worked.
Yeah.
Now it's down, and it was off the other time.
So
Seems like
basically,
every stream I have.
She will be sharing a mission with us, and then
Yeah.
at that point in time, Glenn will go meet a contact on the planet.
Join the party. Okay.
So at 3.7, we introduced mission sharing, and obviously we still have some group work to do to make things feel fluid and getting in and out of parties and all of that. But basically, this is another step into making sure that, you know, we want people to play together, or we want the players to at least have the ability.
Ooh,
or if they have the
100,000
desire to
UEC.
play
Come
together
on.
To do it very quickly.
And this is a mission to go down to Microtech.
Me too,
which
Bender.
is the first time we're going to go down there and visit part of it and steal a software encryption algorithm. So not just Silicon Valley, it's also here in Star Citizen Space. The encryption of algorithms are very important. So we're getting that from Twitch. So
All I get is this Twitch right
Glenn
there.
will accept that, and let's head down. And what's already happened is Sam has sent one of our other players down to go and get a couple of items that you would need for the mission, which is a scientist outfit and a key card. So Glenn is now going to go into the Carrack, into the Pisces, sorry, and head down to Microtech. So we're going to keep the Carrack up in order, and we're going to go down to New Babbage on Microtech.
So as you start seeing here, we are rolling out the new building blocks in the UI. This has been a large initiative on our team to basically empower our developers to actually use it when they're making things. So versus it being bottlenecked by our previous smaller UI team.
All right, that's the upper bridge in the Carrack, and
They might not, or they might have changed it
See
on the
that?
demo, so you can't hit F. Who knows? Right?
and through there, I think, is the drone room down on the left-hand side, I believe.
Yep.
And here is the Carrack hangar bay. I mean, the Pisces hangar bay. Carrack hangar bay.
It's gonna be Carrack Hangar Base, right? That looks badass. God. CIG, why you make me watch all your ships? Why you make me want all your
Back, there's
ships?
the two rear turrets, and then also the engine room here.
Oh no, that's legit.
Another one of our players. So Glenn's going to ask him to open the hangar for him when he gets into the Pisces. But of course, since our
Since audio's
back-end
not working, you
VoIP
can't do
service
it.
decided to die, and our back-end stuff. You just imagine it being said.
Just imagine him talking to each other like in other video games. Right?
We can take. Not a bad idea to take a pour. Could come in handy later in the mission. All right, let's go in the Pisces, Glenn.
Hey,
The Pisces.
Thank you, buddy.
Joe's going to come with us so he can take the he'll take the ship back to the Carrack after we've gotten down there.
Nope,
And
no
then
airlock.
Rendezvous and meet with us later.
I think the Pisces hangar, because it's dedicated to Pisces, is the airlock.
All systems on.
You know what I mean?
So hopefully,
That's essentially is the airlock. Thank you so much, man. Really appreciate it.
can we get player 2 on my screen left, please? So you see that coming up. There you go. Right, yeah. No, I need player 1 in the main screen, player 2 screen left it was, but I think we're a little slow on our things. Okay. Back to player 1. Can I get player 1?
I think you're both
back
right. It
on
looks
the
like a
main screen,
combo of the
please?
two.
Player 1 main screen, thank you. Okay, that's player 1 on the screen right, main screen, please. Sorry about this, we had this going before, I don't know what's happening. Okay, there we go. All right, Glenn. Should you put, let's go exterior and then also get your landing gear back up. So you can see our pretty landing gear going up. Go underneath it. Okay, well, you. All right.
I can go underneath it. Look, the landing gear.
And let's set a course to Microtech. And can I switch to have player 3 on the screen to the right, the very right screen? Player 3, please.
Okay, he wants to show this. What he's trying to do, for those people that don't know, he's trying to show the simultaneous thing, like how this is happening and everybody's perspective on jumping. And
the right screen is. Player 3, right screen.
Okay, then kill the right screen. Kill the right screen, please. The very right screen. Why is there off? Okay, here we are. Coming out. No.
oh yeah,
I know. Player 1, the center screen. Player 1 should be the center screen. This whole demo, please. Okay.
So we introduced.
it's the coolest one
We
of
introduced
all
space
the
stations around orbit,
snubs.
around the planets. They will have hubs and basically other shops and all of that. So that will roll out with 3.8. So every planet, Lorville, ArcCorp, Microtech, and then obviously we have Port Alisar.
Yeah, this is Port Tressler, which is the orbital station around Microtech. And as we're going to descend down to Microtech, I want to bring Ian onto the stage. Ian Leland is our art director of the Persistent Universe. And so one of the big things that we're rolling out with 3.8 is Procedural Planet Tech V4, which is...
Well, you got to remember, I think the people handling the camera switches is the group they hire. So they're probably totally unfamiliar with the actual looks he wants and stuff. So who
major
knows?
tech initiative for CIG. It's something that we felt very passionate about working on, and some very, very clever people have been working on it.
Yeah, right, Bear?
Fundamentally, previously, we couldn't have done a planet like this before, so we're really excited to kind of put it on screen today. One of the first things that you'll see is now we have what we're calling large-scale terrain shadows. So what this means is, even from space, you'll see terrain formations like a mountain cast like long, beautiful shadows across the landscape.
Down over the top. You know,
And because
like,
Microtech is
what he's talking
largely snow,
Chris's mic's still
this is
on.
kind of important, right? Another principle of V4 is we want to dramatically reduce the amount of biome tiling. So what we want to do is that it should be a one-to-one.
Thank you.
So what you see in space is what you see on ground. The type of popping, crossfading, we want to get rid of that completely. So it should be a seamless transition. Also here, we knew we was going to do a cold planet. We thought it'd be really good to have a frozen ocean. So this was a brand new shader that we put into development. And what we have right now is it's physicalized. So we can walk and drive on it. Yeah. internally, we're just in love with this technology. It empowers the art team to be able to just create amazing artwork. Yeah.
So one of the things that we've added is basically
That is a cool
and this will
effect. Look
tie
at
again into
condensation on the
Active
window.
Systems that we show off later, but the planet, we call it the room system basically, and the room system allows us to have humidity.
But it could be a planet system,
Yes,
or
but it's a planet system.
basically an environment container.
So it allows us to do precipitation now, or humidity based, and it's all systemic. So if it's a humid planet, then you'll get precipitation on the cockpit or on your visor. Or
Yeah, and it will also affect things like the contrails and the effects, and it's all tied in, which later on today we'll show more of. The other thing that we can talk about, other than how beautiful Planet V4 looks, also
Absolutely.
the fact that, like, I don't know if you noticed, but it's like you don't see repetition of biomes. You don't see, I mean, it just seamlessly from the outside in. It's just smooth. It's pretty awesome. There's some talks today that will talk about the graphics tech behind it, and also just how they created the stuff. And as we're flying here, one other thing I want to point out, which is not necessarily the Planet Tech V4, but it's we've been sort of working on the flight experience, and that's an ongoing project for the combat and the flight experience. But one thing that we'll roll out in 3.8 is what we call the look ahead setup for the cockpit. So if Glenn is flying around here, what we do is we actually take notice of where the velocity vector of the ship is going to be, where the horizon line, if you're on a planetary body, if in space, obviously you wouldn't worry about that, and also if you had a selected target, and the view basically gets sort of biased towards that. And so as you're flying around, you'll feel the cockpit move around you, and it's quite similar if you see people fly like Tarada does, really cool flying, and he's got head tracking on, right? And you can see pilots generally look where they're going, and also if you're a racing car driver, you look where you're going. And so that's kind of the idea here, rather than having a very static fixed view. You can of course turn it off if you don't like it, but we think it gives a much more fluid experience. We've also been working on the chase camera stuff, so there'll be more fluid vehicular chase camera. You'll see it here, you'll see it a bit later on, and generally that's sort of stuff that we're continually working on. But here we are, we're kind of coming up to the new Babbage, so I'll give it to you, Ian.
Also, another thing which is super interesting.
That looks really cool.
A lot of love went into these pine trees. We have a lot of pine trees. We have a lot of very good artists working on them, but the objects are being distributed and being informed by the terrain. So if you actually look at where those pine trees are, they're distributed real time. Previously we was doing pre-baked masks, and that's where you see these pine trees being distributed into the valleys. It's very interesting. Also, another interesting thing is this planet data is also being utilized for things like game logic, VFX, things like that.
Yeah, well, the VFX is determined by the biome and the environmental data, so you'll get mists rolling over mountains,
correct,
depending on the atmosphere and the biome data. So it's all very procedural.
Okay, so we're coming into the outer districts of New Babbage here. One of the most important things we did when we started this landing zone is we wanted to learn from the experience of creating Lorville, Area 18. So as we fly over, we wanted to remove these big walls we had to previously build around these landing zones. So when you look down there, you can land there. A lot of you asked me previously is like, why can't we land there? So that's been a huge initiative. Yeah.
Wow, this might actually be more enjoyable to fly around. Yeah.
Well, we're also for 3.8 significantly improving the no-fly zone and how you visualize into it. So we won't have like this big ugly mesh that just gets in the way and blows you up. So I think that will help in most locations. But yeah, you can definitely see the sort of learning that's gone over multiple landing zones coming to fruition in New Babbage, which to me feels like probably the best of our sort of cityscapes so far.
Yes, we're very proud of it internally.
It kind of
Here you
does,
can see
Barrel.
one of the signature buildings of New Babbage. This is what we're calling the Aspire Grand. Good job, Glenn.
See if we can get through that. Fancy dancy. Woohoo!
One
And
interesting.
the Aspire Grand is probably where, if you were starting on New Babbage, it'd
Yes.
be one of the places you would have your hab.
I've got a slide to show you later on today. What the view out of that's where the hab's going to be. So if
That
you
should have
want
been
your
pretty. If it
home
was,
base,
since
you
hover
want
mode's
your,
not in
hab
anymore,
to be
that
on
should
New
be pretty
Babbage,
easy to
that's
fly
where it's gonna
through.
be.
Yeah, and we will, not necessarily with 3.8, but we're going to start transitioning next year towards having people start on the various planets versus start on Port Olisar. So you sort of will choose your home base, whether it would be Hurston or Microtech or Crusader, or Area or ArcCorp, and then that would be sort of your starting base in terms of playing the game.
And we also understand that you want to get in and out very quickly, so again, that's why we're putting habs in the space stations around, so then you can stay there, you can get in and out very quickly.
Oh yeah, no, exactly. So in spaceports, we will have like motels in airports. We'll have that as an option when you land or not, and then also you can have your sort of permanent apartment in the city, so to speak, and then you just pick where it is. So I think we're just heading now to.
It's probably Sunday there,
the
Golden
kind
Gloves.
of
It's
New
okay. Everybody's at
Babbage,
church.
Interstellar Spaceport, which is actually not. It's across the frozen lake or
It's
ocean.
across the lake. One
Yeah.
interesting thing is when we were designing New Babbage, is we actually geographically scouted where they would build. A
You
landing
could,
zone, so
Jidger,
we
but
built it
there
around
might be-
this nice water feature.
We'll get into it, but I bet it's because since Todd Pappy's talking about requiring food and drink coming up, that I bet you'll need some of those amenities and stuff inside the hotels and other places, right?
What was that? What was I heard?
At some point. But you can definitely log off and sleep in your ship
Oh, she's just greeting you. Okay, right.
if it has a bed.
Right. And this is pretty. I mean, the New Babbage Spaceport has a lot of hangars and.
It has twice the capacity of previous spaceports, and Chris laid down the challenge, said, Ian, let's try building a spaceport in the side of a mountain, and we were like, okay, Chris, let's give it a try.
Oh, and to show off those nice Microsoft mountains.
Don't we already kind of have a spaceport in a mountain? Like, I guess it's not a spaceport really, but
Here we are. One space, as promised.
So we've been working on our comms calls internally to get what we would consider a gold standard on that, and then we will slowly roll that out to every AI.
Yeah. And then we still, we still have a little on the interaction in terms of requesting it and stuff like that. But yeah, let's head in. Come on, Glenn. You can do it.
yeah, good luck parking in there if there was hover mode still. That would take some skill.
So this is just as it touches down, they need to kill the very far right screen, keep the middle screen.
What?
He's not down yet. Don't clap yet. Hold your applause. Hold your applause.
Right.
And he made it. He landed. Good job. We all can do it, Bender. Come on. But these guys, we know.
And there's, you can see the AI, and this is just a small landing pad, right?
This is a small
This is
hangar.
only a small one, just to let you guys know. I think we have small, medium, large, and
What,
extra
you mean I
large.
can't
So
shove my
that's just to
890
give
in
you
there?
an idea of scale, which I think one of the things that's great with Star Citizen is just that level of scale that can go from, a coffee cup all the way up to a planet.
I wonder, do they have auto land that pulls you in that way, though? They should. I'm all about the auto land, bro. Tired, playing all day. Smack the button.
All right.
Much rather have auto land, like though you don't wreck your whole mission you just did. I mean, it's fun to park yourself too, but it's good to have the option auto land.
Okay, and let's go and find Rob, who's gone ahead of time and gotten us a Microtech Science coat and a fake ID. It's just like going out drinking when you're 16.
That was.
I never did that.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. So just one thing to note on 3.8. So I'm not
Babbage.
sure I mentioned this, but Microtech.
Yeah.
Looks
will
like
be
ArcCorp
there.
hangar
and
to me.
actually, when we roll out V4, we had to redo every single planet and every single moon. So we did that actually in 2 months,
Yes.
which is a testimony of how quicker the workflow is. So not only is the quality better, but the workflow is much better because we basically redid everything. It took us about 2 years and 2 months, which is a really good sign for...
If they redid all these things in 2 years and like within 2 months there of doing all this, you're absolutely going to see some crazy stuff about a new universe system and jump portals and all that stuff. You're going to see all that shit today.
And then in 3.9, the full of New Babbage will
All
be
of the
there where you can
interior
go
will be
and
ready. Yep.
visit the
Yeah.
various areas of it. And now I don't know if you want to talk a little bit about the spaceport here, just to...
Well, he's got to make his call first, but
Okay.
we'll see if it
Well,
if VoIP works.
I think the VoIP things, unless they restarted the server, I don't know, the service is down.
All right. So the contact says, meet me in the garage area.
Yeah. We're trying to show group gameplay,
Yeah.
but
the group gameplay
VoIP
is not
service,
working?
which is what sends the voice and also the animation face data.
You know, this is so good that their VoIP failed on them there, and I'll tell you why. Because now Chris will go and be a religious demon, making sure that thing works, right?
In the utilitarian art style. Previously, we've made things like outposts
That window, dude.
in the high-tech art style, but this is.
Oh, I remember 2142. It was one of my favorite Battlefield games.
So what you're seeing here is a kind of a glimpse at what the inside of New Babbage will feel like.
And I think we get to New Babbage via that hyperloop. Like if you look, Glenn, if you look in the
Yes.
those lines you see there are the hyperloop, right?
Yes.
It gets to the New Babbage, which has all these different.
I want to see out that window at
areas,
night.
either
I bet that
living
looks dope
areas
as shit.
or, shop areas,
The domes.
stuff like that.
You know what I mean? That huge window with the city in the distance. I bet that looks so freaking cool. The NPC layout and the people hanging out and stuff looks so much better. Look at that.
Hi. Is there something I can help you with?
So this is our Cortina-like Microtech.
Yes.
The greeter.
Greeter.
Here's a funny joke. What do you call a mobile risk computational unit that is completely made out of helium? Moby gas. Can I
Okay.
help you with anything else?
Are there more jokes? I think there are, yeah.
I have a joke for you. Which standard Earth month has 28 days in it? All of them.
Yes.
Yep.
All right, let's go.
Sorry,
You
Glenn.
can thank Dave
Can I help you with anything
Haddock
else?
and the writing team for that, right?
Yeah. Thanks, Dave.
I think autonomous AI Jedgar's outlawed and lore. Like it, they don't want independent action without player.
I hope you enjoy
You know what I
the
mean?
visit.
Okay, so let's head to meet up Rob and get our fake ID and lab coat.
I mean, that's like a hologram version of Alexa. You know what I mean? I think that's still good to go. They just don't want autonomous AI that like independently functions.
This is how you would access
without
the garage.
human
instead of the map,
interface.
so you can drive around the city and drive around the planet.
Over here.
Possibly Golden Gloves. Shady's got it right. That's right.
Ooh, over there.
It's over there. We're being really incognito.
All right, let's get the lab coat.
Equip. I'm just gonna carry it first.
So it's early days yet, but the idea is that all the outfits, like the cloth outfits you have, will be physicalized. We'll have some stuff we'll show a little later. So we have the sort of new cloth stuff that I think we've shown in early days before, but you'll be able to take your jacket off, drop it on the ground, it will crumple on the ground, wave it around. And so we're moving towards having everything physicalized. So if you're flying somewhere, and you'll see this why it makes why it's important in the evening demo,
They've talked about
make
some
sure
stuff with the
you're
female
equipping yourself
models, I'm
correctly.
sure.
Have you got the right clothes, the right suits, armor, and we're also going to be very focused on giving you positive and negative reasons. So like, if you have a big armored suit, that's not something you can sit down and say, fly a fighter with or something.
Correct.
But it may be what you need outside to survive a hostile environment.
So we grabbed the chip already.
Yeah, so we got the chip.
Yep.
Okay. Let's head up and get on the worker shuttle to the Microtech research facility.
There are in your closet, but they don't persist when you pull the unit of clothing off, Benkai. I don't know why.
And this is sort of an example.
But I'm okay
of
with it.
longer-term
To be honest, I don't want to deal like,
multi-stage
pick your coat off the
mission,
hanger.
Not
Like,
in 3A,
whatever.
But later on, that
Yes.
we're building. So there will be challenges that are sort of you versus AI environmental challenges versus just also the general PvP emergent gameplay that can happen. Okay, hopefully that works. Oh, all right, we're through.
Okay, that's a complaint I'm gonna have right there. If you interface with like something that requires your pass, you should see your hand come over like a credit card where you had to scan it. I know they could key fob it and it wouldn't matter because it's on your purse, it's good, and that happens in real life. I'd much rather see the ID though.
Wait for 'em. And then there are.
This is cooler.
Microtech, home of the Moby glass.
Hitting on closed mini games, but yeah, it's a little too tedious. There's aspects of Star Citizen that I think are tedious already. Let's not add to the tedium.
Interacting straight with panels. And that is, again, as Todd was saying, part of what the building block UI is going to allow us to embed UI and interactions much easier in the game. So we're up on the rooftop shuttle area.
Yeah, the ass wiping mini game is like, do I wipe
So
side
one
to
thing
side,
we'll
back
get
to
into later,
front?
but we have the player status system is now extending beyond oxygen into temperature. As you can see that it's cold. I don't know if you noticed,
Wow.
but we are actually have breath coming out of our mouth.
Did not work.
And if you want to look around your third person, we can sort of see you breathing, I guess.
So another big thing that was just seen was basically AI transitioning from one zone to another zone.
It's cold. See, he should be wearing his nice warm.
Look at the air coming out of my mouth.
Yeah, so like Todd was saying, it's early stages yet, but we have AI transitioning.
They're kind of
between
over-accentuating
zones,
the
grids,
mouth
snap
breathing.
meshes. So theoretically, you can have an AI come fly, a whole group of AI fly in, land, a whole bunch of troops get out, say the back of a cutlass as reinforcements.
Correct.
In a combat and you fight, which is something we haven't been able to do up to date. So it's really quite cool.
Yeah.
And this is actually an AI flown
Yep.
ship that's taking us on a shuttle towards a research facility.
What model's
There we
that?
are.
I haven't seen this
So-
model of ship.
This is the end of part one. We've got some cool stuff that will come back at the end of the day in part two to show you some even bigger stuff we're working on. So,
I know I have one. I'm just saying the paint job's different. Civilian model, yeah.
so that's just a little bit of a taste to set up
Yeah,
some
they
of
are.
the panels we've got going on, but we've got some really cool, nice surprises later on. So the closing one,
jump points.
stick around for that, please. I think you will be happy. And we're going to have a great day today. I think if we pull up the schedule for what's happening. Here we are.
Right,
I
crazy.
don't know if you guys are aware of who's enlisted, but we have the Theaters of War happening right now, which is very, very cool. The marketplace is awesome. It's a combination of a whole bunch of community booths as well as some of our other stuff.
Miss
And,
Gass, what's
check
up,
out
buddy?
The panels. There's some really interesting, great stuff. Jared, over here, do you want to we'll pull up the next card, and you want to talk about what's up and coming? There you go.
Yeah.
I'll let you, Jared. And I'm really looking forward to seeing all you guys a little later on this evening. And I hope you'll have a great, great day.
Thanks so much, Chris.
Uber bill on that side. That'd be something.
This way. You're not done.
Oh.
If it's not one thing, it's another. Hi, everybody. Jared here. The rest of the venue is opening now, so you don't have to stay here. We've got the second stage, the Crochet Auditorium. There are 6 panels that are starting in just a few minutes over there. We are about to get set up for the 6 panels that happen here. We've got the War Room, just like Chris said. We've got the Marketplace. It is like Levski and Area 18 had a forbidden tryst, and you're going to want to check it out. There's all kinds of things to see here. I just want to make a couple of notes here about what we just saw here. The Hollow Globe is back in the Carrack after that brief flirtation with a big table.
Yep.
Glad to see the Hollow Globe back. Don't you Red One me, I was here. I wrote that. Don't you Red One me, I was here. The lab coat, soft body physics.
Yep.
I just want to say it is tremendous that we have a crowd that appreciates things like that. The Twitch chat went crazy. AI flew the ship in. AI transitioned off the ship. The player got on, and the AI took off, all as part of a mission. So that's new technology that's just coming online now. I think we've all been waiting for
AI can do stuff.
Tech to improve and to develop. So let's give a round of applause to the AI folks. Landing where you want. Restricted areas, come on.
He wants restricted areas.
No. We'll have an update on the new restricted area tech on ISC in the next coming weeks. And the way Glenn flies, hands-on head and mouse. Is that what's going on? Richard, I see Board Gamer. I want to see an emote on Twitch of Glenn, hands on stick and mouse, head and mouse. I want to see it before. Now, Chris touched on this a little bit earlier. He said Sam was the captain of the Carrack. We saw the Carrack flying.
Yep.
We saw it operating, but the Carrack is not going to be in people's hands until February. Chris touched on it a little bit, but tell us what is still outstanding to do with the Carrack.
So we have a few rooms on the interior to bring up to final art. So everything you saw there is final art. The exterior is final art. All those rooms you saw, final art. There's areas like the cargo pods, cartography, that they just need bringing up. And like we've talked about before, we want to deliver really good things rather than just push something out. And especially with the Carrack, sort of just delivering that, not quite there, I don't think was the right option.
Yeah, we obviously didn't go through the entire interior of the Carrack. We went through a very specific path that has finished artwork and stuff, but there are areas of the Carrack.
Yeah, there's essentially 4 decks on the
Can't wait
Carrack.
to try to break
the
it.
4th is just the observation deck and cartography. We saw a lot of decks 3 and 2, and maybe we'll see more later.
Yeah. And for folks who want to check out John Crew's panel